VERITAS University, Abuja, located in Buhari Area Council, is offering provisional admission to all qualified students with recent UTME JAM examination results. Applications are open to all candidates with a minimum score of 470 for other courses and a minimum score of 200 for admission into the Faculty of Law. Screening for the 2021-2022 academic session will commence from the 27th of September 2021. The exercise will be physical or virtual in Abuja and the respective Catholic dioceses with education secretariats. For further inquiries, call Reverend Father Dr. Babkwaf, Chairman, Admission Committee on 080-3939-8830 or the Admission Officer, Mr. Kefas Ilya, on 070-8685-8143. You can also call the Marketing Officer, Mr. Timothy Adidi, on 081-3860-5055. For postgraduate admission, contact Monsignor Professor Michael Sasa on 080-3499-8227. Veritas University, seeking the truth.
Hello, viewers. Yeah, welcome to this week's edition of Veritas Half Hour, a weekly television program where we discuss academic excellence and quality formation at Veritas University, Abuja. My name is Cyril Ole. In this week's edition, Veritas University, Abuja has attracted a very important visitor in the name of Professor Stephen Rash. Professor Stephen Rash is the Vice Chancellor of the Catholic University of Erbil in Iraq. He is visiting Veritas University, Abuja, and we'll be speaking with him shortly. Keep watching. The event started with Holy Mass at the Veritas University Abuja Chapel.
Amen. As we celebrate anew the feast day of Saint Bartholomew, O Lord, we pray that
Thereafter, Reverend Father Martin Onukuba introduced Professor Stephen Rash to the university community.
Stephen Rash from Iraq, accompanied by the members of the Kuka Center, which I introduced you later, so that because of the exams, so I have the honor and privilege with the permission of Barnabas to invite Stephen Rash to address us. Can we put our hands together? I do this, we shall show this on Sunday, so for those who are not here, they will see it on Sunday. Mr. Rasha, welcome to Veritas.
Thank you very much, Father. Thank you all for waiting here to hear from me. This is my first visit to Africa, my first visit to Nigeria. I arrived here just yesterday morning. I come here through the invitation of Bishop Kuka, who is an old friend to me. And I know Bishop Kuka from our work together around the world in discussing the plight of persecuted faiths and persecuted Christians. Bishop Kuka and I spent 2 weeks together about 5 years ago, touring the UK, and we spoke to university audiences and churches and gatherings just such as this, so we got to know each other. And so that's how I ended up here. As for the introduction, I'm the Vice Chancellor of the Catholic University in Erbil, Iraq. I'm not Iraqi, I'm an American. How does an American end up as a Vice Chancellor of a Catholic university in Iraq, especially in these times? Well, I'll tell you a little bit about that, and that will help you understand how faith, mission, and the universality of our church, our special church, instruction there, and had become friends with the people in the Catholic community there, especially the Archbishop of Erbil, Archbishop Bashar Warner. And in that time, before the ISIS war, already there was a situation of mass displacement of Christians stemming from the war that had been going on mostly in the south.
In his brief remark, Professor Stephen Rash explained his activities as the Vice Chancellor at the Catholic University of Erbil in Iraq. He also took questions.
As a follow-up from the last question, do you have lecturers that are not Catholics in your school that are not even of Christian faith? You have such? Then how do you maintain the Catholic identity in the university? Because I know as a faith-based university, that one of the key factors, or one of the key issues that we look at is maintaining the Catholic identity. How does that operate in your school? Thank you.
Yes, it's a good question, and it's a difficult subject, and it's one in the West, I can tell you, is a huge subject, because we have many universities, Catholic in name, and yet to try to find Catholic faith inside the university walls is a very difficult thing. For us, as I said, we have both Christian and Muslim lecturers, and what we do is we divide the disciplines. So, for instance, our Muslim lecturers would generally be in areas of specific sciences or things like this, and for areas that would go with theology or Oriental studies, these would be Christian teachers, although we are attempting to mix those things as well. In terms of maintaining our Catholic identity, we have priests and we have sisters on the campus all the time. And again, in our particular situation, what we do is try to show by example as much as we can. We need to be careful. Obviously, we have people of other faiths there, and we want to be respectful to them as well. But this is, again, in Iraq, this is new. This is a new thing. We are the first Catholic university in Iraq since the Jesuit University, which was closed by Saddam 40 years ago. So we are the only Christian university in the whole country. So our path is very step by step, and we are finding out as we go along. We are a case study in the works.
Just want to know, in the Catholic University of Iraq, are non-Catholics also admitted as students in your university? Does the government of Iraq allow that? Thank you.
Yes, we're a private university, a private non-profit university, and by our charter, we are open to students of all faiths and no faiths. This is consistent with Catholic universities worldwide. We believe in being open, so we are, and the government does not put us any difficulty on that. Iraq is an interesting place. There are really two different countries inside Iraq. There's Iraq proper, and then there's the Kurdistan Autonomous Region. We are in the Kurdistan Autonomous Region, so we are subject both to the Iraqi Federal Constitution and also the Kurdish laws, but they allow us. And to this point, they encourage it. We are still a small university.
My question is, you operate in a university where you say there's Sharia in a country. How is the participation of the students in the university in terms of celebrating the Mass, in terms of social interactions between male and female students? What is the quality of the Catholic Church in imparting morals and the faith in their immediate community?
So it's a good question, and it's a very big challenge. The name of our university is the Catholic University in Erbil. And to give you an example of what we faced, it took us 2 years to get them to approve our name. They wanted us to drop the word Catholic. They said you can call yourself the University of Saint something, but Catholic, no, it's too strong a word. And we fought for 2 years to be able to use that word. Finally, we gained approval for it. We are doing our best to operate a Catholic university in the traditional Catholic sense, teaching the full range of the liberal arts and things that you would have here. It's a very difficult thing. We move step by step. We can't be very aggressive in what we do. We're trying at this point to show that we have value to the community, to the entire community. So our student body is Christian, Muslim, Sunni, and Shia. We have Yazidi students as well. Our faculty is mixed. We have many Muslims. About 50% of our faculty is Muslim. And we try to show the reverence for faith for all people. This is important. And in terms of what we show of our own Catholic faith, we show it in the lives we lead, in the ways that we behave. For the Christians of the Middle East, since open proselytization is forbidden, they've developed a habit, a learning of evangelization by example, meaning you show your faith by the life you lead, by the service you give to others. And so we have to rely on this. We have hopes that over time we will be able to expand this more, but it's a very step-by-step, careful thing for us.
Shall we take any questions?
There was also a photo session with the university community and the visiting professor.
VERITAS University, Abuja, located in Buhari Area Council, is offering provisional admission to all qualified students with recent UTME JAM examination results. Applications are open to all candidates with a minimum score of 470 for other courses and a minimum score of 200 for admission into the Faculty of Law. Screening for the 2021-2022 academic session will commence from the 27th of September 2021. The exercise will be physical or virtual in Abuja and the respective Catholic dioceses with education secretariats. For further inquiries, call Reverend Father Dr. Babkwaf, Chairman, Admission Committee on 080-3939-8830 or the Admission Officer, Mr. Kefas Ilya, on 070-8685-8143. You can also call the Marketing Officer, Mr. Timothy Adidi, on 081-3860-5055. For postgraduate admission, contact Monsignor Professor Michael Sasa on 080-3499-8227. Veritas University, seeking the truth.
Okay, I have with me Professor Stephen Rushe, Vice Chancellor, Catholic University in Iraq. This is interesting. While we were talking, Prof, I saw a lot of similarities between your university and Veritas University Abuja, particularly where you said it took you 2 years to get a name registered. In Veritas University Abuja, it took us forever, and we were asked to remove the word Catholic University, and now that's how we come to Veritas University Abuja. What was the experience like?
Well, you're right. Everything is difficult, and our experience was that they simply did not want to allow the name Catholic at all. What turned the table for us is that the person behind this university, the Archbishop Bashar, is a very strong and stubborn person, and he was able to continue fighting and continue to make the impression on the government that the rest of the world will see what you are doing here and they will judge you by how you are behaving here. You're saying that you want to be a country that is open to the world, open to education, and yet you will not allow us to even have our name. And so he pushed them very strongly. I can say that maybe if there had been a different person in charge, maybe not so strong a character, we would have not made it that far. But this was his effort that got this university off the ground. So the church through the Archbishop, and also we had the church behind us, the Universal Church behind us. Our seed funding all came from the church in Rome through the Italian Bishops' Conference. So we had the people from the Vatican behind us as well. So the Catholic Church in all its power around the world, I think, made their point, and this is how we succeeded.
Yeah, when you talk about Catholic Church being universal, and in the midst of it, there is some kind of restrictions on evangelism. How do we handle this? Well, universal, yes, but you won't allow us to evangelize universally.
Yeah. Well, it's the restriction on evangelization in Iraq is not from the church.
Right.
It's from the government, because it's a Sharia government. And so this issue of being able to proselytize, to evangelize, is haram. It's forbidden in general. I can say, though, that in the aftermath of ISIS, much of this social contract has broken down.
Okay.
And where the church is now in Iraq is what they've said is that where in the past, if somebody from another faith came to us and said, we would like to learn more about your Christian faith, the clergy, the church would say, oh, thank you very much, but you are Muslim and you must go and speak to your imam or whomever. Now, this has changed. So if people come and say that are non-Christians, come to the church and say, we would like to learn, the church is saying, okay, please come, we will tell you. Now, still, it's not the situation where they will go out and say, please, you out there come. But if they come, they will say, please, welcome in. And this is all because the Christians have said, after ISIS, the social contract in this regard is broken. So it's moving.
Okay, so are we expecting any relationship in terms of programming, in terms of exchanges between the Catholic University of Iraq and VERITAS University Abuja?
Sure, and so I'm Vice Chancellor of the Catholic University in Erbil, Iraq, and this is one of my main areas, is establishing relations with universities around the world.
Okay.
And so I'm here in part because of that. Again, at the initiation of Bishop Kuka, who is everywhere all the time, and he and I have become good friends, and we've talked about this need for coordination among universities. So hopefully this is not my last visit. I expect I will have many more here to Veritas.
Definitely not your last visit. Is this your first visit?
This is my first visit to Veritas. It's my first visit to Nigeria, and but I hope again I will be back many times.
I'm sure you have been around this campus. What do you think of the serene environment?
Well, you know, I know what it's like to start a university, and for a university that is still very young, I'm really very impressed. The number of students that you have and the feeling that's here, I think you have a very good future coming.
And looking at the scenery, someone came here sometime and joked that if William Shakespeare had been born in Nigeria, he would have lived here. And he would have written more works than he ever did.
Yeah, you know, it's this time of year, it's so beautiful and green,
right,
and pastoral. It's really very nice. It's really quite wonderful.
Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
We've been speaking with Professor Stephen Rashi, Vice Chancellor of Catholic University in Erbil, Iraq. Prof, thank you for talking to us.
Thank you.
Okay, Reverend Father Dr. Anthony Amadi is of Veritas University, Abuja. He is the head, Department of Religion and
intercultural studies.
Intercultural studies. Thank you, Father Amadi. A Catholic priest, a Catholic vice chancellor from Catholic University of Iraq in a predominantly Muslim country. That's an interesting visit to Veritas University, Abuja. How does your department intend to make the best out of this visit?
Thank you very much, CY.
Thank you, Prof.
You see, with our intention of changing the nomenclature, instead of limiting ourselves to religious studies, we are saying religion and intercultural studies. With that in view, it opens the way for us to align ourselves to know what other Catholic universities are doing, to know what other religions are doing, and see how we can use that to buttress what we are doing here. So when he was talking, I was very, very impressed by the fact that in their university they have other religions. And he put the words that we have reverence for other religions. And that is what we are trying to inculcate to other people whom we want to admit into our university, especially in our department, that when they come, they'll be able to learn other religions and be well prepared to live in peace and harmony with all these people. If you remember what he was saying, if it were initial time, when those non-Catholics will come, they say, okay, go to your imams, go to your pastor, go to your this. But these days, they say, okay, if you want to learn from us, you come. I was happy when he said that. So in the same way, it is by studying religions and intercultural studies that we'll be able to prepare so many people. Before, people were closed up.
Right.
But this time, through what is called religious dialogue, which is very fundamental and very, very important. This is what we want to inculcate on people, that
the world is actually big to accommodate all of us.
Exactly. So when we are doing that, then we are no longer going to be seeing ourselves as competitors, but rather as cooperators in the vineyard of the Lord.
Okay. Yeah. So he has just talked about, this is his first visit to Veritas University, and we are hoping that there will be exchanges between the two universities. What do you say to that?
That is very, very interesting. And then we hope that with the help of Bishop Kuka, that's what was going in my head since that time, that we can also arrange a situation whereby some of us can go there.
To the center?
Yes, okay. From the center to visit other universities, especially like his own that has made this frantic effort to be here. Okay. So it's a challenge to us, which we will not just allow to go by. We will try to make a follow-up to that and then market Veritas University and then other departments in the university. They said charity begins at home. Yes. We begin with religious and intercultural studies. Okay. We go to theology, we go to philosophy, then we branch off to other departments and faculties of Veritas. But the most important is we want to project Veritas University and then as a reciprocal of what he had done.
Father, this is the period when we expect to get new students into the university.
Yes.
You have talked about change in nomenclature for the department, for your department. Let our viewers know the new nomenclature and also who is qualified to seek for admission into that new department.
Thank you very much. In the past, many universities running religious studies have all changed their names. Okay. We are not the only one that found it difficult to get students. But the moment, even in Nsukka has done that, Calabar, Port Harcourt, all of these. So they also encourage us to change our name. If we change our name, then people will, candidates will be interested to join us. So we are looking at now religions and intercultural studies. So in that aspect, we look at all the religions of the world.
So the program content is changing, not
Yes.
just the nomenclature, but we are changing the program content too.
Sure, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
It will encompass all these other religions where people now come and
Right.
learn profoundly about these religions. And then, because religion incorporates culture, and culture is embedded in religion, then we are no longer talking of Nigerian culture or African culture. We are talking of global culture. That's why we say intercultural. And that will expose us so that when students study this, they'll be able to adapt. Because what the world is going on now, you must have heard what is called enculturation. Fine. So when you talk of enculturation, our students will be able to imbibe in it, and whenever they go to other cultures, they are not going to impose their own culture, but they'll be open so that these other cultures will interact with their own culture, and with the word of God, then everything will blend fine.
Thank you, Father Madi, for talking to the Veritas Media team.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Father.
Well done, and thank you for your crew members.
Thank you, Father. Thank you, viewers, for watching Veritas Half Hour, this week's edition. My name is Cyril Ole, your regular host. We welcome you to watch again next week, same time, same station, as we bring you a fresh edition of Veritas Half Hour.